Yeah, it's going to be a Phillies show today. I think there'll be some Eagles mixed in because we'll need to bring some positivity to this Monday morning. But it's an overreaction Monday. And guess what? Yes, the Phillies, they just flat out suck. We are going to bitch and moan a lot about them. Some of you are going to like it. Some of you are not. But we're going to talk about this Phillies team and all the problems surrounding it. Train the AM. We're live in 30 seconds. And welcome to Trending in the AM, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. We're live on YouTube and Twitter right here on the STT Sports Network. So please do me that favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, and please subscribe. Number one morning show in Philadelphia, the only one where your opinions actually matter, the only one that's free. There's no charge to watch this show. So smash that like button, smash that share button, and please subscribe. And for all those people watching over on Twitter, please find the STT Sports Network YouTube page. I would greatly appreciate each and every one of you doing that. We are going to talk a little bit about the Phillies and how dreadful of a weekend it was for the Fighting Phils this weekend out in Pittsburgh. How dreadful of a last week it's been for the Philadelphia Phillies. How dreadful of the last 3 years it's been for the goddamn Philadelphia Phillies. Some of you are going to like what I have to say. Some of you are going to agree. Some of you are going to hate me for it. But you know what? This Philadelphia Phillies team just flat out sucks. Sucks. And while they're still going to win 90 to 95 games, they are. There is zero faith I have in them to actually do the job and get to the World Series. Zero. This Philadelphia Phillies team is not scared of anything. This Philadelphia Phillies team is miserable to watch on the baseball field. No energy, no care, no desire, no fight, no want. The Philadelphia Phillies are the most emotionless, less team there is. And I'm done trying to be positive about this team. I'm done trying to sugarcoat it. Rob Thomson, got to go. Dave Dombrowski, got to go. Kevin Long, obviously, got to go. And I'm throwing Dave Dombrowski in there, too. John Middleton is to blame for enabling Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thomson to continue to put this lethargic, boring-ass baseball team out there that doesn't care. They act like they've already won a half a dozen World Series, and they got nothing to prove. Well, newsflash, you got a lot to prove. This Philadelphia Phillies team just flat out sucks and doesn't care one bit about playing good baseball right now. It's pathetic. Straight up pathetic. Let's get right to the comments. Good morning, Duck. How you doing today? Hope you are well. The Pirates, the Phillies. Adam called it. Adam asked on Friday on the show, what if the Pirates sweep the Phillies? I'm like, there's no way the Pirates are going to sweep the Phillies. Well, newsflash, it did. What's up, Booch? You're loose. It's okay. They're going all in for a center fielder. I know, exactly. Going all in. Because that really has worked the last couple of years. Because Dave Dombrowski, and I ask this all the time, has the game just passed Dave Dombrowski by? Has he lost his cojones to make a move? Does he not know what moves are anymore? Or has he been handcuffed by John Middleton? Good morning, Jim. Fire Topper, fire Dombrowski. Sure. Why not? Everyone's like, well, who are you going to hire instead? I don't give a shit. It ain't going to get any worse than this. This regime hasn't done anything to earn their stripes, to prove that they could get the job done. So why not try somebody else? Well, thanks, Adam. Thank you. Remember when the Eagles were 2-2? But the Eagles are, totally different situation. They at least showed some fight, okay? And yeah, people wanted Nick fired. Said Jalen wasn't the guy. Well, people still say Jalen. It's a different situation because people still say Nick's not the guy. People still say Jalen's not the guy, okay? Playoffs did not seem like a long shot, okay? And look, the Phillies are still going to make the playoffs. but I don't give one rat's ass about being the second wild card team and losing it in the LDS again. I don't care at all. This team is the same old team that it's been for the last 3 years. They are not going to get over the hump with the current regime. Now, the players got to be better, too. It is on the players. There's a lot of $20 million guys on this Phillies team and more. But this Phillies team flat out does not show any desire to want to be better. They're just coasting on pure raw talent. No energy is right, and it starts with the coach. It starts with the coach, the GM. Oh, well, we got to do a little bit better. Bullshit. You got to do a lot fucking better. Good morning, little G. Hope you are well. Happy Monday. Well, we're starting it off as a pissed off Monday, but yes, happy Monday to you as well, Peanut. Hope you are well. It's one and done in October with this lineup. That's too old now. 100% agree, Phil. This falls completely on John Middleton. I really think that John Middleton definitely does not get enough blame for this disaster because maybe John Middleton is the one that should have moved on from some of these guys before this season started. John Middleton's the enabler, okay, to Dave Dombrowski, who enables Rob Thomson, who enables Kevin Long. It started this most recent decline. Yes, Rick started when there was no retaliation on Spencer Strider. That's fine. And when the players coach, the coach that every player loves to play for, Uncle Charlie, well, not Uncle Charlie, Uncle Topper, doesn't retaliate, yeah, maybe it sends a message to the locker room. But the bigger issues on this team, the lack of accountability on this team, dates way further back. This dates back to 2023. All right? The Phillies are still going to probably make the playoffs, Anthony. I'd be shocked, just like I was shocked that they got swept by the Pirates, but I'd be shocked that this Phillies team doesn't make the playoffs. But who gives a rat's ass about losing in the NLDS again? The Phillies are no different than the Sixers losing in the second round of the playoffs every year. They aren't. It sucks. It's pathetic, and I'm tired of it. The Phillies have way too much in common with Doc Rivers Sixers. Yeah, absolutely. I said this the other day. Was it Friday? When was the bullpen game? Was that Friday or Thursday last week? Oh, don't worry. Another scheduled loss. Doc Rivers' attitude, 1,000%. You know, you can see, you'd almost think Doc Rivers was in charge of this team. And Daryl Morey was in charge of this team. It's pathetic. Pathetic. This is the same panic I heard when he goes, yeah, and you know what? Fans are allowed to panic. You know, oh, don't be here when they make it in October. No. A fan is allowed to panic. A fan is allowed to show emotion. A fan is allowed to be pissed off when the team they spend their hard-earned money on, hard-earned time on, does not perform to the level of expectations you set for them. We are allowed to be pissed off. Plain and simple. And I am pissed off right now. And you know what? Not much. And, you know, they got Zach Wheeler tonight pitching. Yeah, maybe they win tonight. Ooh, see, I told you. No. They're an average baseball team that has talent all over it. Somebody's got to be to blame. DC Defenders, stunned Battlehawks. Don't be bringing on that UFL bullshit into my pissed off day, okay? Otto Kemp is up, but not Crawford. I don't get it. Now, I thought Justin Crawford got hurt in a game last week, and some people said he did. Quad issue. The Noom said in another chat that there's something personal going on as well. I don't know. But there's a reason why Justin Crawford's not up. Now, I don't believe Otto Kemp has gotten a hit yet this weekend. No, he's over. He got one walk yesterday. Obviously, Bryce Harper is on. Bryce Harper is so tired of this Phillies team where he was willing to fight through the pain of his wrist injury, but now then said, you know what? It's too much to fight the pain. I might as well just go away for a few weeks to a few months. Bryce Harper, Mr. Emotion, the only emotional guy on this team, even said, you know what? F it, deuces, I'm out of here for a little while. The guy that would fight through literally anything for you is saying deuces. I think there's a problem there with that one right there. Which team is more of a dumpster fire now, Sixers or Phillies? I mean, honestly, maybe the Phillies, because Sixers fans at least know they're in a dumpster fire. Phillies fans, there's still plenty of people that think I'm a clown and a nitwit when I say that they suck right now. OKC wrecked Pacers and lost game 1. Yes, NBA Finals 1-1 now. Heading to Indiana. Save this episode. Play it again in late September. Why? Because they're going to be in the playoffs. We all know they're making the playoffs. They're not no fair weather fan. You're a fair weather fan. Fair weather fan is someone that only watches them when they're good. We're still watching them every game. I had that game on all day yesterday. I'm allowed. There's going to be 40,000 people, according to Jim, at the ballpark tonight. Those 40,000 fans are allowed to boo when they spent their hard-earned money and time to go to a game. When the product is less than acceptable. The product right now is less than acceptable. And we don't hear anything from the fan, or players, or coaches. We got to be better. We'll figure it out. I'll tweak the lineup a little bit. No. I want to hear that you care. It's pathetic. Swept by the Pirates and the Brewers. Pitching was the only thing carrying them, and it's showing it can't. Yeah, the pitching's even falling apart. Fire Kevin Long today and tell Topper he's on the hot seat. Yeah, I think they won one game against the Brewers, right? Did they win one game against the Brewers? Anyway, whatever. They've lost 9 out of their last 10. They suck. I mean, they do every day. But anyway, that's another subject. The point is, you don't have to accept this. We don't have to accept this, Rick. Sixers Summer League is good. You know what, honestly? Probably. From 9-1 to 1-9 against the same. Exactly. Getting swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates should be the biggest smack in the face wake-up call to this Philadelphia Phillies organization. The Pirates flat out stink. They're an awful baseball team. I have been for a long time. Getting swept by them. All right, you want to lose a series, you want to lose a game, that's fine. You get swept by them and no sweeping change are made, that's an embarrassment. Rick, constantly bring up the Eagles. The Eagles had different leaders, Anthony. They had an emotional coach that didn't accept, he held his players accountable. Yeah, they sucked. Well, he had no problem throwing anybody under the bus ever. Now, how many times have we seen Nick Sirianni yell and scream at players on the sideline? Rob Thompson's like, cool. We'll get him next time. Rob Thompson's the guy that goes, you get good job, slugger. We'll get him next time. Rob Thompson probably doesn't believe in keeping score. Everybody's a winner in his book. This Rob Thompson horse shit. Plain and simple. Dave Dombrowski. Horse shit. Plain and simple. Forget doing anything at the deadline because no matter who they bring into this team, they are not mentally strong enough to play through the cold times. Don't trade the prospects because they will be more or less ready to play. Yeah, I'm torn on this, the whole trading. Because you know I'm all about trading prospects. I can care less about prospects. But you're right. I asked on Twitter this weekend, do you even trust Dave Dombrowski to make any moves? I sure shit do not. Because all the moves he's made over the last couple of years have backfired massively. He don't have the cojones to pull the trigger on the real deal that will make a difference. Who's going to be this year's Austin Hayes? Rick's the Joker. I'm the Batman. I mean, he might think he's Batman. He might think I'm the Joker. I am seething. I am pissed off. I'm pissed that it's not okay for us to be pissed at this team. Okay, they got swept by 2 teams, and they didn't get. Maybe the Blue Jays was mixed in between. Whatever. They suck, Anthony. The Sixers and Phillies need a big Dom on the court dugout. Oh, that ain't something. Look, I know it's 2025. It's not 1992 anymore. Larry Boa ain't walking in that locker room with a baseball bat, smashing Gatorade, jugs anymore. Billy Bean ain't going to smash the jukebox. All right? But someone's got to show some emotion. Who's going to hold these people accountable? Who's going to say, enough's enough? The Debbie Downer to Phil's cap. Stop. I'm not even reading that one. Harper probably wanted certain players here, and Dave and John said, we're running it back. We will be fine. First off, Adam, I don't want Harper saying who comes and doesn't come here. Stop building the team to what Bryce Harper wants. Bryce Harper's a player, not a GM, not a talent evaluator, not a scout. Bryce Harper, we don't need all of Bryce Harper's best friends in this team. All right? We need winners. And right now, we have no winners on this team. We have no it factor on this team. If Dave tries to trade any of Abel, Crawford, Painter, or Miller, they need to fire him. Look, hold on a second. So in theory, Anthony, you got to trade. Like, if their job's really on the line, he's got to try to trade somebody. You can't not trade prospects. And if you don't trade any of these guys, and I'm not saying which ones I'm trading yet. I'm just saying, in theory, if you're not trading one of these guys, all you're getting in return is another Austin Hayes at the deadline. You got to trade something good to get something good. Now, Mick Abel's pitched great for 2 outings. He's going to pitch again this week. I know we're all excited about it. But you got Wheeler, Nola, Christopher Sanchez, Luzardo, Painter, Walker, technically Rangers still this year. You got 7, 8, and Abel. You got 8 starting pitchers on this team right now. Who can you risk losing the most? Probably Mick Abel. Justin Crawford, I don't want to trade him. But they don't seem to have any interest in using him. They love their Johan Rojas, Brandon Marsh platoon. They love Brandon Marsh because they know how much they effed up trading for Logan O'Hoppe. Now, Painter ain't getting traded. But I have talked about everybody's available. I tried to trade Andrew Painter 2 years ago for Shohei Ohtani. And everyone laughed at me. And Aiden Miller, if you're keeping Bohm and you keep Stott, you don't have a spot for Miller. And they claim to think he's not ready. You got to trade something good to get something good. Otherwise, you get Austin Hayes. A lot of people were calling out Jalen at 2. People have been calling out Jalen. You can't use the Jalen Hurts call-outs as an excuse. Or the Nick Sirianni. Because Nick Sirianni's been getting crushed since the day he took over the job because of his press conference. And Jalen Hurts has been getting crushed as not good enough since day one. All right? Hence, Kellen Mund's a better quarterback than him, according to a certain person. So, totally different scenarios because they've been getting called out before. They're still getting called out now. Saw somebody famous list the other day. Jalen Hurts the 9th best quarterback in the NFL. Gets a load of hocus pocus. So you can't compare the Eagles to the Phillies. Totally different scenario. Happy Monday, Steven. How you doing? Don't worry, Phil. I'm sure there'll be a players-only meeting room or soon. That'll get them fired up. At least we have major numbers. Yeah, exactly. At least the U.S. Open from Oakmont out in Pittsburgh this week. Thank God I got something positive this week in my life, Steven. Because the Phillies sure as hell ain't going to bring any power or positivity to me. Who cares about their win-loss record? It's will they be successful in October? That's all that freaking matters. You can be perfectly happy with raising that division banner if you want, or that wild card banner. Me, that isn't good enough for me. I want World Series at a minimum appearance. Outside of that, it's a disappointment and a failure for this Phillies team. I don't give one rat's ass about 90-win seasons anymore. I don't. And you shouldn't either. You're wasting your hard-earned money and time supporting a team that doesn't give one rat's ass about you right now. And they show it by the way they play on the field. I don't care what dipshit said. Comparing the Phillies to say, stop. First off, don't throw that away. He's not. He's a good person. He just disagrees strongly with us, Anthony, okay? No name calling in the chat. Kirkering looks lost out there. Kirkering ain't who we thought he was. I mean, it does. I haven't disagreed with that one iota. Eagles were called a dumpster fire. Yeah, and they're still called a dumpster fire. They were called a dumpster fire that got lucky in the Super Bowl. So I don't. The Eagles will always, forever, be criticized in a different way, no matter what. UFL championship were fire. Who gives one rat's ass about the UFL championship, guys? Anthony always trying. I know. Look, I love Anthony. I love you, Rick. We're not playing those games. If October only matters, then bitch and moan in October. No. Because changes could be made now that could save October. There is still talent on this team. What happened in 2022? I mean, it was much worse. I mean, when they were like 22-28 or something when they fired Joe Girardi. But making a shocking move doesn't always work, but it can shock them into working. Firing Rob Thomson right now might light a fire under the ass of the Philadelphia Phillies players. Look, everybody's got everybody's on the hot seat. They fire Rob? Shit. One of the winningest coaches in the history of the team? Shit. My job's not safe then. I better get creative here. I better figure something out. I better put the effort in. If Rob isn't safe, nobody's safe. Doing the same thing again, accepting this lethargic way of doing things, it's just not good enough. I have to put the comments on the side screen there, too. We're King Duck. Duck said hello at the very beginning of the show. He's probably lurking in the background. Don't worry. After this rant, you might need a trendy in the AM drink. I mean, yeah. I don't know if this is a rant. This is a full-on 20-some minutes. It's only been 20 minutes. God damn. Thought I've been going for 35, 40 minutes here already. But yeah, I might need a morning drink. You're always worried about everybody else instead of who's here. There's plenty of great people here in the chat. And guys, please, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Would greatly appreciate each and every one of those things. Let's see what we're at right now. We're at 10 likes, 11 people watching. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the fact that the Phillies' lethargic way has seeped into the fan base. Why is this acceptable? Has Philadelphia Phillies fans gone soft? Everybody's gone soft. Well, the people that aren't allowed to criticize the Phillies. I don't get it. Eagles go 2-2. And Rick's right. People were calling for Sirianni's head. People were calling it a dumpster fire. Nobody called them out and said, don't worry, it'll be fine. But I'm calling out the Phillies for going through the paces for 3 days in Pittsburgh. Like they didn't even want to be there. Like they could care less about that trip. So why should I give them the benefit of the doubt? Oh, I'll still be here. And this is the problem, and I'm sure you'll be back, but I'm going to use this to spark this next part. The Phillies need that spark. They need that bench-clearing brawl. They need something. Rob Thomson didn't give it to them. Whether you agree or disagree with retaliation, I know Rick wanted the retaliation. I know Jim did. I sort of did. But something had to give. Something's got to spark them. Nobody in the locker room's going to do it. Nobody's in the clubhouse or dugout's going to do it. So you know what? It's on Rob. It's on John Middleton to spark this team and go, yo, Rob, love you. You brought Philly baseball back to a successful thing, but you got to go. Your voice isn't working. Take a spot up in an office. Be in the executive room. Whatever. You wanted to retire anyway. Joe Girardi convinced you to come back in 2022. Go off. Go do your thing. Go be a great spokesman for the country of Canada. But something's got to spark this Phillies team. And I think it's very telling that this Phillies team is so lacking passion that even Bryce Harper's like, you know what? I don't even want to fight through the pain of my wrist injury anymore. Put me on the injured list and let me get healthy. I think there's more to that than people realize. Bryce Harper literally said, the wrist is hurting too much. I don't want to even try anymore. The guy that will literally run through a wall for the organization said, I'm good. That's how disappointing and how lack of anything is coming out of this locker room right now. Thank you. Well, at least we're on the same page with that. Good morning, Judd. How you doing? Hope you are well this morning. The beautiful June morning here, early June, June 9th. Man, this summer's already. We're already a week plus into June here. Oh, this year's flying by. The Phillies will do nothing this season. Nothing. I see nothing. There has been their overall MO. So just expect more of the same. And that's why I'm not. Look, yes, I am a fire Rob Thomson guy. I'm the guy that said after losing the World Series that he shouldn't have been guaranteed the job in 2023. But this is not all on Rob Thomson. Weston Wilson is not Rob Thompson's fault. Brandon Marsh is not Rob Thompson's fault. The bullpen is not Rob Thompson's fault. But somebody's got to be the scapegoat. This comes down on John Middleton. As much as I want to blame Rob Thomson or Kevin Long, I got to blame Dave Dombrowski. And when I blame Dave Dombrowski and the fact that he's been mediocre at best, means I got to blame John Middleton. We always spend so much time talking about the Eagles organization, top to bottom, from Jeffrey Lurie all the way down to the laundry department, and how it's a perfectly run organization. No kinks in the armor ever in the organization. Maybe the media or fans get frustrated, but you get what I'm saying. The Phillies, on the other hand, are a disaster organization. Some would say Dave Dombrowski's been handcuffed and been told not to spend any more money. Well, is that because John Middleton doesn't trust Dave Dombrowski? Or is that done because John Middleton's tapped out on what he's willing to spend on this team? Does he not have faith in this team? And that's why he's capped or cut off Dave Dombrowski. Now, there's a lot of guys that are going to be off the payroll this upcoming offseason. There's so much to blame. There's so much blame to go around. Can't convince an owner to sell a team, really. But the owner can set a new tone. The owner can light a spark by saying that this is not good enough, that this is not acceptable. So you know what? I put just as much blame on John Middleton as I do on Dave Dombrowski, as I do on Rob Thomson, as I do on Kevin Long, as I do the players. They all deserve the blame. They all do. And the players? Well, I don't know how the players look themselves in the mirror in the morning. Well, they probably look pretty comfortable in the morning in the mirror, and they're getting paid the kind of money they're getting paid. 3 freaking hits yesterday against the Pirates. 3 damn hits. And I know Paul Skeens was pitching. And he pitched beautifully yesterday. But you mustered 3 hits yesterday? 3 goddamn hits? Christopher Sanchez actually went out there and pitched pretty damn well again. Nobody cares. I thought last week was the end of it. We got another week of UFL football. Who cares? I'd rather complain about the Phillies than worry about the UFL or think about the UFL or talk about the UFL. I don't give one rat's ass about the UFL. God damn it, K1. Why would you say Sam Burns? Here's the thing with the Sam Burns. I had a Sam Burns outright, 30-1. Jason, my co-host on Fairway to Heaven, had Sam Burns and Ryan Fox. He was lucky. He cashed out Sam Burns at the playoffs and made double the amount of money. Me, right before the playoffs, I'm like, oh, I should cash out my Sam Burns bet. They were going to give me $100 or $150. And I said, nah, Sam Burns got this. Don't cash out no bet. Don't be scared. And now here I am with less money than I should have. God damn it, Sam Burns. Although I'll say that Ryan Fox fairway wood or whatever it was he hit to 3 feet to make that eagle putt to win, or he missed the eagle putt to win the playoff. That Ryan Fox shot there, was a hell of a play. How many double plays have they hit into this year? I don't know. I don't care. Because the number sucks. And you know what? The positive, every team hits in the double plays. It's a long season. Everybody goes through ruts. I don't give a shit. This team sucks. And you know what? I keep saying there's talent on this Phillies team. Maybe there's not as much talent as we actually think on this Phillies team. A lot of overpaid, overaged, aging guys, young guys that haven't reached their potential. Maybe Rob Thomson and Kevin Long should have actually helped develop Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott and Alec Bowman and Johan Rojas into MLB hitters. But they're not. They've regressed, all of them. You're going to watch the UFL too? You guys in these freaking UFL. 15 likes. Still stuck at 530. We went up to 532 yesterday. We lost one again, so we're still at 531. 15 likes is not good enough, guys. Please, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Is there no poll going for you guys? It's, according to me, the poll hasn't changed. It still only has the original 2 votes on it. I don't know what's going on with the poll today. Still July and August until NFL. I'd rather talk. We got mandatory minicamp for the Eagles tomorrow. So Wednesday we can switch back over to football more seriously. People who say that baseball's a long season are the worst. I agree. Well, now we're June 9th, okay? Because there's 4 months left still, Anthony. No, there's 3 months left. Well, you know what? Now I don't even know. What's it? July, August? There's 3 months left now. And it's getting later and later into the season now. The Phillies have played 65 games now. I had to do some math in my head there. 37 and 28, yeah, 65. So we're in the 90s of games left now. This team sucks. Yes, I saw Nick Chubb going to Texans. Good for him. Still one of the most devastating injuries I've ever seen a running back take. That hit he took on his knee was like 3 years ago now. Nick Chubb was an elite running back, and that was one of the scariest hits I've ever seen. So the fact that he plays, period, is kind of crazy. Baseball's a long season. Well, you know what? That's a dumb thing. Okay, it's one of the worst things you can say. So stop triggering. I've been out of it this weekend. Did we get all the rookies signed? I don't know. I know a week or so ago we were down to Makuba and Campbell still had inside their deals, but everybody else was signed. There was an interesting piece by Ed Kratz talking about second round draft picks wanting their contracts fully guaranteed. Someone set the precedent last year, and now everybody wants it, and almost everyone that's been signed has. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I'll have to look up to see if Makuba and Jahad Campbell signed their contracts. I wrote that down. I'll double check into that later in the day. But anyway, if firing Rob Thomson and Dave Dombrowski and Kevin Long aren't the answer, then what's the answer for the Phillies? What's going to spark them? Now you're without Bryce Harper for probably the next 8 weeks. And Bryce Harper going on the injured list. I was listening to a portion of the game on the drive home from work yesterday afternoon. And they were talking about him on the radio, okay? And they were talking about on the broadcast how he had the same wrist issue last year. And he played through the pain, all right, through the playoffs. And then what he did was rehab, try to get it fixed, okay? And it took him till mid-December. So the season ended in October. It took him November and December. It took him 2 months to get his wrist pain-free. So we might be without Bryce Harper for all of June and most of July. Again, let's not forget what I said. Bryce Harper has no problem playing with pain. But he said, you know what? I'm good. Let me sit for a little while. I think that tells you everything about this team. That you're one leader kind of guy, emotional leader there is. Said, I need a break. Deuces. I do have everything but the top 5 created. We'll get into that. We're trying to say that for the top of the hour. The top of the hour, 9 o'clock, most updated list. Everything from 6 through 32 is on and done. Clowney is the solution for the Eagles. Yeah, heck no on that one. I don't agree with that. No, nobody wants him. Nobody wants Jadeveon Clowney right now. As of today, the Eagles have signed 7 of their 10 rookies. So obviously the first 2, and I don't know who the other one is. I said this before about Jadeveon Clowney, that I don't know why, but I still feel icky if I would have to root for Jadeveon Clowney. I still blame him for Carson Wentz's downfall. That hit, the back of the head. Like, what the hell? I mean, sure. The Philadelphia Eagles aren't signing anybody. Let me tell you guys, the Philadelphia Eagles are not adding anybody else till at a minimum August, okay? They're going to wait till cuts happen, wait till things fall off of other teams, and then maybe they make some moves. But they're going to wait. I just heard my dogs fight upstairs. These 2 fucking dogs. They fight nonstop. But I lost my train of thought hearing them fight now. 532. All right, we gained 1 back. All right. How about that? 532. I won at 540 last week. We gained 2 since last week. I said that. Not good enough. Best thing to happen to the Eagles was Wentz getting knocked out. I mean, in theory, yes. Just like in theory, drafting Reagor over Justin Jefferson worked out for us just fine. Sometimes the bad things turn in. Firing Rob Thomson would be such a bad thing, but maybe it turn into a good thing. Sometimes you got to take a bad thing on for the betterment of the team. Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, Jadeveon Clowney's much richer than Burfict ever was. Gabe Davis would make sense, but would it be worth the dollars? For who? I mean, the Eagles don't need a wide receiver. Not even close to needing a wide receiver. Bryce is getting about 70% of what he's worth in market value. Therefore, he's giving the Phillies 70% of the effort. You know what, mister? I don't know if you've heard what I've been saying about Bryce Harper. But the fact that Bryce Harper is willing to say, I don't feel like playing through pain anymore. I'm good. Let me sit for the next 4 to 8 weeks. And, I'll come back for the playoff run. That tells you all you need to know about where the emotional level of this team is, where the connection in this team is, where the caring is for this team. Even Bryce Harper says, I don't care right now. I'm not going to fight through it. I'm good right now. I don't think people realize how much pain Bryce Harper is normally willing to play through. And this time he's like, good. It's not like he said, I'm going to start needing 1 out of every 5 games off just to ease the pain on the burden of the pain. No. You know what Bryce is saying? I want to take a couple of months off. I think Wentz, without the injuries, would have gotten a Super Bowl. I think at some point Carson Wentz could have won a Super Bowl. Yes, I do. I truly do. I was a huge Carson Wentz guy. Still am to an extent. We don't win the 2017 Super Bowl without Carson Wentz and the season he had. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Kyle McCord will beat up McKeister. You're just trying to trigger. Rick. Rick had to step out. He'll be back later in the show. Bring that comment back up later, okay? When Rick's back in the chat, okay? Save the drama for that. But I don't think people understand that when Bryce Harper says I'm out, when he dips, that tells you all you need to know about the locker room attitude, this team's attitude at this point. It sucks. And you got to light a spark. You got to find a way to put a fire in the ass of these people on this team. And people I see, players, coaches, executives, everybody. No accountability. It's a lot of accepting that it is what it is. It's pathetic. It's John Middleton. It's Rob Thomson. It's Dave Dombrowski. It's Kevin Long. It's Bryce Harper. It's everybody. Whoever the Cade Cotton or whatever his name is. Pitching coach. I blame them all. Exactly. And what was Rob Thomson talking about after? Oh, maybe Monday I'll have to switch the lineup up a little bit. Like, if you look at Rob Thomson after getting swept by the Pirates, speak to the media. He didn't look pissed off. He didn't look depressed. He didn't look mad. He looked content, like, yeah, Don't worry. We're going to get to October, and we'll figure it out by then. Unfortunately, I think he forgets that just flipping a switch doesn't work in baseball. You can't just flip the switch when it comes to October. That's what they failed the last 2 years on. Rob Thomson got lucky catching lightning in a bottle in 2022. I've been extremely tough on Rob Thomson since day one. I get it. And it's not all Rob Thompson's fault. But anyone that says that Rob Thompson has zero blame for the shortcomings and pitfalls of this Phillies team, they're lying to themselves. I mean, Tanner McKee might be a good quarterback. He just has no room on this team, okay? When we've got the franchise, the MVP. Do the Phillies have, I'm sure someone's responsible for taking infield. Do they go out there? Like, I'm thinking about Major League, the part of the movie, when they all go out there in the middle of the season to kind of shake things up and start taking grounders and stuff like that. Who's doing that? If I'm the Phillies, what I'm doing, I'm firing Rob Thomson. Maybe if Dave Dombrowski has lost confidence of John Middleton, I'm firing him too. That's fine. If I'm firing Rob Thomson, I'm hiring Jimmy Rollins and Larry Bowen right now. If Larry Bowen doesn't want to be on the road all the time, that's fine. He could be at home. I just on home games. Jimmy Rollins is my new manager, interim. Larry Bowen will be in there smashing bats, okay? Hell, go get Charlie Manuel to be an assistant hitting coach for home games only. I know he can't travel anymore like he used to. I'm shaking things up. I'm lighting a spark by saying, yo, your best buddy, Uncle Rob Thomson, ain't even safe. Let's see what happens with this team. Going to get swept by the Cubbies too, and I am there for it. Like, I don't want them to get swept by the Cubs. I'm not there for it. It's going to piss me off even more if they get swept by the Cubs. I think the big question, K1, that I got to ask, because I keep saying this team is so talented, the Phillies. They got all these great players. But how many great players do they really have? I mean, Bryce Harper has definitely regressed. Trey Turner is the only one that's actually accepted his new role of base hits. Alec Boehm's plateaued. Nick Castellanos is what he is. Max Kepler, I got laughed at when I said that Max Kepler was not going to regain his 4-year-ago all-star form magically here. Brandon Marsh sucks. John Rojas is terrible. JT Realmuto can't hit a beach ball anymore. There's not one good bullpen arm. You got a couple of really good starting pitchers. And you got a couple players in Bryce Harper who deuced out and Toronto, or Kyle Schwarber. That's it. This team is full of a bunch of bums. Yeah, I mean, I think 8 of their next 10 series, or 6 of their next 8, or 8 of their next 10 series are all against teams with winning records. The schedule is going to get real tough over the next month and a half. There's only 2 teams that they're facing in the next 8 weeks that have losing records right now. By the time the end of July rolls around, this team could be under 500. Spark them. Light a fire. Do something. Show a pulse. Kyle Schwarber. Start a fight with somebody in your own dugout. Phillies need a little Jimmy Rollins. I've been saying this since last year. Some people are like, no, Jimmy Rollins, no. Look, you need some swagger. You know what's great about Jimmy Rollins and Charlie Manuel and their relationship? Because Charlie Manuel is very similar to Rob Thomson. Everybody's favorite. He was every player's uncle. Everybody's player's drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. Everybody loved him. But you know what? Charlie Manuel had no problem benching Jimmy Rollins when he didn't put any hustle out there. He didn't have a problem pulling somebody aside and dressing them down. Yeah, we're all best friends. We're all family. But you know what? I'm going to get the best out of you. Rob Thomson, none of that. Hey, the Phillies pissing me. I'm red. I'm seething like the red on the background right now. Who can't handle the truth? You can't handle the truth. They're already 4.5 games behind the Mets, and it's getting worse. I know. No, we literally 2 weeks ago, Adam, had the best record in baseball. 3 weeks ago. The best record in baseball. Now we're not even the best in our division. And you know what's funny? When the going gets good, you're allowed to be, yeah, you're allowed to overreact to that. But when the going gets tough, Don't you dare overreact. A lot of people, oh, they'll be fine because they did really good for a stretch over here. Let's ignore a lot of Phillies fans. Ignore the bad and only praise the good. Well, I'm here to not ignore the bad, to call the bad out. Typical Phillies, exactly. 17 likes. It's creeping up there. Let me refresh my screen here. I don't know what's going on the poll. No one's voting on the poll, or the poll's not working. I am not sure. I got 18 likes on my screen. We are at 532 subscribers. Maybe it's 17. But guys, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. I didn't even see it. Somebody, TMZ asked about this before, and I didn't see it yet. I don't see the Philadelphia Eagles adding anybody. Trey Hendrickson, Jair Alexander, anybody outside of undrafted rookies, and that's it until August. They're going to roll with what they got. They're going to see if Keely Ringo. They're going to see if Ty Robinson. They're going to see if Drew Makuba. They're going to see if all these guys are good. Then the Justin Simmons, the Jair Alexanders, the Trey Hendrickson, all those names. We'll see then if they add anybody. But right now, they're going into training camp with what their roster currently is. Phil's leaking more oil than my granddad's old Ford Fairmont. Yeah. All right. My first car, K1, was an 8. So I got my license in 1996, okay? My first car was an 83 Buick Century. It was my aunt's car. I was 13 years old. It only had 31,000 miles on it because my aunt walked to work a lot. She worked at the time, the Upper Darby Township Building. She worked in the EPA. She worked for Lynn Abraham, who ended up, I think she ran for mayor of Philadelphia at one point. Anyway, and the car was not ready for the driving I was going to put on it. And it started leaking oil fast. I kept patching it. One time I'm driving down the road and I see some smoke coming out. I'm like, oh, need some oil, some fluids in the radiator. It must be overheating. Lifted up the hood of that car. There's so much oil leaked, it caught fire, and the engine was literally at flames coming off of it. Needless to say, that car was done. Pause. Pull. Yeah. Always good for a Mitchie Poo 12-year-old humor. It is. But you didn't answer the question. Answer the question. Is the poll not working right now? Because I can't have only 2 votes. Either it's just not working, or I don't know what's going on. Look, everybody, there's a lot of people that deflect the Phillies disaster. There's a lot of Phillies fans out there. And I praise Rick. I do. For having faith. It's great. I'm glad he does. I wish I could look at the glass half full with the Phillies. I wish I could. It is not enjoyable for me to be so pissed off at my team. It's not. It's not enjoyable. Things like today are not fun. I mean, they're great content, but they're not fun. Well, my screen only shows 2 votes, and it hasn't moved since the show started. So I don't know what the deal is. I can't even ask. I supposedly had a poll. Have you lost all faith in the Phillies? Yes, no, or it's getting close. No, it's the same movie. You know, do you remember? I forget what they're called. Those books when you're kids, okay? You'd open the book, you'd read a page and say, well, if you want to do this, turn to page 17. You want to do this, turn to page 28. And the book would give you choose your adventure, I think is what it was called. You choose your adventure. And the book would have multiple different endings to it. Well, I think this Philly season, no matter which adventure you choose, is shaping up. No matter which direction, whether you choose page 17 or 24, and then whether you choose page 3 or page 14, the end result will be exactly the same. It's pathetic. Shenanigans. Absolutely. It doesn't move after you vote 2. It's stuck at 2. Okay, so people are voting. It's just not updated. Who knows? Whatever. We'll roll a new poll out tomorrow. We will. I do. I used to love Choose Your Adventure books when I was a kid. I really did. Choose Your Adventure books were fun. But we're not talking about kids' books here. We're talking about a Major League Baseball team that's supposed to be a contender for a World Series championship. A team that's got, I think, the fourth highest payroll in baseball. That can't win one game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And fans out there want to say, relax, don't worry. Well, good for you. I'm not relaxing. Anthony's not relaxing. K1's not relaxing. Nooms is definitely not relaxing. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, pathetic, pathetic. Thank God we're only 2 months away from the Philadelphia Phillies or Eagles. August 7th, first preseason game. No, Adam, do not predict another sweep. I blame Adam for the sweep. I blame Adam for how pissed off I am. He's the one that joked about a sweep on the Friday show. And I laughed at Adam, said, there's no way the Phillies are getting swept by the Pirates. I don't care how bad it gets. They're not that bad. I'm sorry, Adam. I apologize for laughing at your comment that the Phillies were going to get swept. I'm sorry. It's your fault. My fault. You have to hope Dave Dombrowski is waiting to strike, but it's a seller's market, higher demand, same supply. Look, I have two theories. A couple theories on Dave Dombrowski. A, he is not being given any more leeway. John Middleton's like, you know what? You ain't allowed to do anything else because you keep sucking. If that is the case, he should be fired. 2, he's lost his cojones. He used to be willing to make the big, bold move. He's afraid to do it now. He likes his cushy job towards his retirement. Or C, the game's just passed him by, and he doesn't know what good talent is anymore. Plain simple. Timmy Tim. Dives brought this up earlier in the show. This is eerily similar to Doc Rivers' era in Philadelphia with the Sixers. How many scheduled losses? I mean, we're not even into the middle part of June yet, and we're already going bullpen games. This is Doc Rivers 2.0. And just like Doc Rivers, he'll get the team to the playoffs, and then they'll collapse come playoff time again. Because there is no edge on a Doc Rivers-led basketball team. There's no edge on a Rob Thomson-led baseball team. Yes, I bet Sam Burns. Stupid. Why would I? When the fans wrong to expect them to be a contender, they've gone backwards. Yes, I think we've all been tricked into this team. Maybe this team is not as good as we think it is. Maybe there's not as much talent as we think there is on this team. You know, I was just messing with you. It's not. But it feels like the Flyers without Ryan Ellis. I don't even want to get into the Flyers. Eagles preseason home games could be more packed. According to Jim, my realtor, my friend, you know, he's got tickets to tonight's game, and he's going because it's a business work thing. He says there's going to be 40,000 people there. I would never spend any money to go to a Phillies right now. Glenn Rivers, that's true. Adam, muchas gracias. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Let's not act like we didn't know the downsides of these huge-ass contracts. Yeah. See, I didn't think the downsides were going to be the dollars. I thought it was going to be the years. And look at it. I mean, somehow Zach Wheeler's still pitching dominant outside of his last outing. But you got a lot of overpaid players on this team. That's right. Sam Burns. I mean, it makes up a little of the money I lost by Sam Burns collapsing on the fourth playoff hole. Again, Ryan Fox, man. All power to Ryan Fox for making that shot. Putting the pressure on Sam Burns. Who? Maxim Shaboinki? Is that how you say it? Like, seriously, I don't even know who that is. I'm so out on hockey. But thank you very much, Adam. Muchas gracias again. Thank you. 3 young, talented players, Bohmstott and Marsh. This is from Tim. What have they done to help them? Long should be immediately fired. Hey, we talked about this earlier in the show as well, Tim. What has Kevin Long, Rob Thomson, or anybody done to develop any of the young hitters on this team? They've all regressed or plateaued. I think Marsh is still here for the simple reason that they're afraid to give up on the guy that they traded for Logan Hoppe. Bohm, I don't know why they haven't. They could have moved Bohm this offseason. Could have. And Stott, that's the one that annoys me the most. I see potential in Stott, but he's regressing massively. Massively. That's a problem. Maxim Shaboinski is one of the top wingers in the KHL. No, he's a Shaboinski. Okay, cool. Oh, then Sam Burns rockets a 20-foot putt. Exactly. And Ryan Fox missed his putt. So if he would have made the comeback, God, K1. We got a lot to talk about on golf tomorrow. Fairway to Heaven's going to have a later start. It's going to be 6:30 instead of 6. U.S. Open and Sam Burns. Playoff rules. Rory McIlroy. We got a lot of golf content to cover on Tuesday. Rory McIlroy. Could you imagine? For those that don't know, this is great. Rory McIlroy, I feel like, would fit perfectly on the Phillies. Except Rory McIlroy's actually won something the Phillies have not. And Rory McIlroy's comments hopefully don't seep into any of what the Eagles are doing. Rory McIlroy finally won the Masters, his dream tournament to win. And he said, plain and simple, Tuesday or Wednesday when he spoke to the media, he's like, I find it hard to do the grind now that I've accomplished my goal of winning the Masters. It's tough getting up and working out every day and practicing every day. It's like the Phillies. They don't put the effort in, but they haven't won anything yet. Nola has a chance to silence all his critics of being one of the guide this team out of the slump. Isn't that what we pay this guy to do? Let's be real. I mean, yeah. He better do something. Better. Now, one hitter is improved since joining the Phillies outside of Schwarber. I don't even know if Schwarber's improved really necessarily. Schwarber has always been really good. Maybe he's improved a little bit, Schwarber, I guess. I've been fired from my job before. Topper looks like a guy that knows he's about to get canned. I mean, he doesn't show anything. Nothing. If we performed like Rob Thomson does at our jobs, well, I wouldn't get fired because I own my own business. So I'd have to fire myself. But yeah, how does Rory miss go? Well, he had a quad on one hole, and then it fell. He was only a couple strokes behind the cut line early in round 2. I think it was like his 5th hole or something like that. He had a quad 8. And that really just ended it there. Some vets aren't changing or learning a lot. I mean, Trey Turner has improved his approach. The young guys were able to be guys. Look, the young guys are plateauing or not getting better or regressing. And the old guys outside of Bryce Harper or outside of Trey Turner have not changed or pivot at all. Phillies won. No, they did not win, Brianna. I'm glad AJ doesn't. I'm glad a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles don't have the Rory mindset. But I feel like the Phillies players do. And the problem is the Phillies haven't won jack shit in October. Just in May and April when they start out hot. Remember, this is no different than last year's Phillies team. They had a great record early in the season last year. Then they went to London. Then they swept or won that Dodgers series. And then they were a 500 team for 3 months. They're playing like a 500. Yeah, they're 1-9 in their last 10, right after a 9-game winning streak. So basically, they've played the last 20 games at a 500 clip, which is what the Phillies are, a 500 baseball team. So why do they play with Rory's mindset? At least the Eagles would have an excuse. AJ doesn't have that. Jalen doesn't. Nick doesn't. Now maybe Saquon does. I mean, Saquon talking late last week about, well, at any moment, I might just say I'm done. Saquon got his Super Bowl trophy. Maybe he wants 1 or 2 more good years with the Eagles to pad those Hall of Fame numbers. But maybe Saquon has a little twinge of Rory's mindset. Let's hope it isn't 500. Well, if they're 500 the rest of the way, that means they'll get into the playoffs, and then they'll collapse in the playoffs again. And then next year, nothing will change. Kevin Long, breaking news should already be happening that Kevin Long is fired. It should. But it's not. Hold on. Let's double check. Let me refresh my Twitter page right now. and see if there's some kind of breaking news I missed. No, it's all about Jair Alexander. That's like the first 10 posts I see. If Saquon wants to be in the Hall of Fame, he needs at least 4 more years like he just had. Maybe 2 more. Maybe 4. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Guys, it's the top of the hour here. Trending in the AM. STT Sports Network. Like, share, subscribe. 532 subscribers we are at right now. We'd love to gain some more today. All right, let's like, share, subscribe. We're at 18 likes on this video, guys. Do what you can. Hit those buttons. I'd appreciate it. All right, in a moment, we're going to release the updated top 32 NFL quarterback, the ultimate list, in just a moment. Who is this Jack guy, and why would someone want to win his shit as a prize? Yeah, Rory. We're going to talk a lot about Rory on Tuesday night. We're getting there. I'm resetting, catching up on comments, and we're getting there. The Reading Phillies could beat the Phillies in a game. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on who's pitching for the Phillies in that game. All right, 19 likes. In Rory's defense, he did just complete a lifelong. Absolutely. I am giving him the bet. I get it. Accomplish your biggest goal in life and then coast. I get it. The Phillies haven't accomplished shit and they're coasting. He needs another Super Bowl and another 2 to 3 years. Yeah, exactly. That's all he needs. I think 2 years, 3 to 3,500 more yards, maybe another Super Bowl appearance at least, and he's in the Hall of Fame. If he goes out there and has a 1,500-yard season this year and the Eagles win the Super Bowl, you can just lock him into Canton right now. The Iron Pigs could compete with the Phillies team. Absolutely. I said a lot of bad words today. I can't help it. The Phillies pissed me off. How can I not have a lot of bad words? Yeah, I don't even know what the track record of running backs getting into the Hall is and how hard it is for running backs to get in the Hall, etc. We just have very little relief pitching in the farm system, too, which makes it more challenging. It is. There's no relief for the relief pitchers. When they call somebody up, they called up a guy for the bullpen game the other day that never pitched in the majors and had a 5 ERA career in the minors. And that's the best you could call up for a bullpen game? What the F? You're telling me there's nothing better than that dude? He got stupidly unlucky being on the Giants. He did. He really did. It was definitely bad luck for him. And good for him to get out of there. Good for him to leave when he had the opportunity. All right. The top 5 are still blank. I haven't decided when I'm going to release the top 5. But here is number 6 through 32. I guarantee you Allen will not be number 1, but he'll be in the top 5. Here are the top 32 minus the top 5 of my ultimate quarterback list. I don't even know which ones are new and which ones are not. 6, Jaden Daniels. 7, Jared Goff. 8, Matthew Stafford. Jordan Love, CJ Stroud. I think I threw Baker Mayfield in there at 13. Justin Herbert, the one y'all are waiting for. Number 15 on my list. That is correct. Cam Ward at 27. Trevor Lawrence at 24. There's my top 32 list minus the top 5. Only needs 2,000 yards to break 10,000. That's normally the minimum number. Okay. So is that part of the conversation? Like what is the standard for how many running backs even get into the Hall of Fame? Yeah. Obviously, it's not as hard as a kicker to get into the Hall of Fame. But I don't know. And he'll definitely get, as long as he stays healthy, get 2,000 more yards in the next 2 years. Maybe this year. Phil's missed their window with Dusty Walton. Dusty Walton actually turned into a pretty bad assistant coach. I don't know if he would have made it any different. I disagree. Disagree with that a lot. Disagree with that as well. There's nobody below CJ Stroud that I would take over him. Again, though, from basically 8 to 14, you can flip-flop them any way you want. 15 through 18, you can flip-flop them any way you want. 19 through 24, you can flip-flop them any way you want. I almost put them into categories, like grouping. I don't know. I think Bo Nix, not Jane Daniels, is the one that sees the sophomore slump. Everybody said it. And look, Tua has to prove he can stay healthy and not take hits. But when healthy, he's a damn fine quarterback with damn fine weapons. I'm a big. I think Tua or Sam Darnold. I gave him a little bit of a bump just because I feel bad on how great he played for Minnesota last year, and they said, "Nah, you're gone," and he had to leave like that. I kind of feel bad for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had a Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield rejuvenation last year, and he got cast aside. So I kind of feel bad for Sam Darnold. That's why I gave him a little bump inside the top 20 like that. It's my opinion. I think Stroud at 10 is perfect. He's got a lot to prove this year. I think 10's a perfect spot for him. Keeps him in the top 10, but it also, he's a head and shoulders above that 11 through 16 range. That is true. Dak Prescott should be in the top 3 probably because he plays for the Cowboys, absolutely. And Justin Herbert should be in the top 2 because, he's a pretty white boy that throws a pretty spiral. He just can't win a game when it matters most. I love my rankings. I think my rankings are spot on right now. We're not sure when we're going to release the top 5. Obviously, Jalen Hurts will be in the top 5. Obviously. Where I'll put him in the top 5? I don't know. Well, I do know. I mean, the list is done. But when I'll release it, I don't know. Beast Mode has a ring, should have 2, and over 10K and still waiting. Beast Mode. Sorry. You're talking about Marshawn. Why is Kyler above Baker and Brock? Because I think he's better than Baker and Brock. I mean, when I rank something and I put him over them, it's because I think they're better. Baker's a good quarterback, and he's definitely rejuvenated his career. But I think his rejuvenation has plateaued. He's all right. He's a solid middle-of-the-pack quarterback. Kyler's a more athletic guy. Kyler has more upside than Baker. Baker's going to win you 9 games, maybe squeak into the playoffs. He's not going to do anything. Kyler still has a little bit of potential to become a top 10 quarterback. And Brock is what Brock is. The most overpaid quarterback in the NFL now. Darnold got let go to not create a quarterback controversy. I know they wanted to move on to J.J. McCarthy. I know that. But he's coming off of a serious injury. I think he got beat over by Minnesota there. All right? I disagree. I think Bryce Young is way too low. I think Bryce Young has the potential to be, by next year's list, closer to top 20, like 20, 21, 22. We'll see. We'll see what he can show this year. Daniels at 6 is a little much. It's like when Stroud was a great rookie year. See, I disagree. Everyone just assumes that Jane Daniels is going to fall apart, just like C.J. Stroud. I don't. Now, while the Washington Commanders have an older team, they still have a very good team. Why did C.J. Stroud fall apart last year? Because the Houston Texans had a lot of injuries, offensive line and wide receivers. We'll see. I think there was a lot made of C.J. Stroud's collapse last year when it really was injuries. Jane Daniels, if the Washington Commanders stay healthy, is going to be a top 10 quarterback again. Now, I'm not putting him in the top 3 like Washington fans or 1. I just don't know about J.J. McCarthy. See, I liked him coming out of college. When that draft 2 years ago, it was J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix. They were the guys I wanted if I was in need of a team, a quarterback on my team. I thought they had the 2 best potentials to be quality NFL quarterbacks. Now, I didn't think anybody was going to be great, but I thought they were the best 2 potential guys. So maybe I'm still leaning a little bit on that thought process there with JJ. Marshawn Lynch is working on changing his PR. Right now, the NFL doesn't like him too much due to his, I'm here because I have to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's biases and all that. Ancient history, his body of work speaks for itself. Maybe. Yeah, 10K doesn't guarantee first ballot, but Lynch will get in eventually, but he has off-the-field issues. Yeah. I like Daniels where he is. I think 6 is perfect for him. I do. the NFL, all league Hall of Fames are like the Petty X, you know? They all are. And guys, we're over 20 concurrent viewers. So that means there should be 20 likes, 20 shares, and we should have more than 532 subscribers. So like, share, subscribe, guys. We are pitching a moaning about the Phillies, but final 20 minutes, we're going over my top 32 NFL quarterback list guide for 2032 or for 2025. I'm losing my train of thought here. Bryce is 17. Bryce Young's 17. That's way too high for Bryce Young. 17. Way too high. That's like trying to say the Phillies are going to win the World Series. We're still sitting at 19 likes, guys. Move Kyler down. Nah, I'm going to leave him right where he is. It's my list, not your list. My list. Okay? My list. If you don't like it, go cry about it. My power rankings. All right? Adrian Peterson has 15,000 yards and will probably wait till the seniors. And this is the thing with the whole Saquon Barkley conversation. I mean, Adrian Peterson is the last running back to win an MVP. And if he's not in the Hall of Fame, I mean, what's that say? I don't know. Nah, I'm not going to. You picked up on what I said, Rick. You did. Hurts possibly number one in the league in avoiding unnecessary hits while maintaining a run game threat. I love that comment. He does not take unnecessary hits very often. And that is a very good trait to have as an NFL quarterback. Avoiding the big hits is very important. And being able to alter the offense. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Saquon should have won MVP this year. Yeah. Absolutely, there's an argument for that, Rick. 1,000%. But we know the MVP is not most valuable player. We know the MVP is who's the best. It's the best quarterback of the year award. We all know that that's what the MVP. Who's the best quarterback? Just like on the defensive player of the year. Who gets the most sacks or interceptions? Typically wins that. Not the best player on defense. They should really change these award titles when you think about it. AP had issues with the NFL too. Yeah, didn't he get in trouble for something with his son or something like that? I don't even remember. I don't think AP is in the Hall of Fame yet because of his off-the-field issues. Yeah. 20 likes. All right, we crossed the 20 like barrier. There we go. How about that? We're coming up to the final 15. I want to get back to bitching about the Phillies a little bit more. I do. Hurts get MVP this year. Absolutely. Absolutely. Life ain't fair. But I don't care. I'm not groveling in my tears. It is what it is. Vaughn definitely should have won defensive player. Absolutely. What, I think he finished, third? It was third or fourth that he finished in the voting. But he didn't have the most sacks. He didn't have the most interceptions. Just like the last time we talked about this before the voting was announced or the final results were announced. The last time a linebacker won Defensive Player of the Year was Luke Kuechly. I think that's who it was. And that was over a decade ago. Defensive Player of the Year is most sacks or interceptions. MVP is who's the best quarterback. That's it. Okay, beat his kid. That's right. Didn't he use a stick or what do they call it down the south? A switch or whatever? Yeah, I remember that now. Now that you say that, that's what it was. Can't win friends with baseball? I can. People love it when I bitch and moan. The Phillies are the only thing I have to bitch and moan about. Kuechly, whatever. Switches have kept AP out of the Hall of Fame. Brian Mitchell's mouth kept him out of the Hall of Fame. Brian Mitchell, you think he was a Hall of Famer? One of the first interviews when I first started my first podcast was Brian Mitchell, by the way. Got to go back and find that. Brian Mitchell was scheduled to do an interview with us, and he got tied down at a golf course. He fell behind, and he was just walking off the 18th green, and he did the interview right off the 18th green. It was pretty awesome, Brian Mitchell. appreciative of his time. So I tried getting your page likes on my podcast last Thursday. I appreciate it. I was listening last Thursday. For some reason, I was up late on Thursday. And was it Thursday or did you guys do your show on a Friday instead? I was listening. A 10-minute stretch in bed. When you're talking about beers and lobster rolls. Like I came for the football talk and I'm hearing you talk about food. Hooked on phonics worked for me. Hey, it did. You remember that? Hooked on phonics worked for me. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Yep, exactly. I took white shoes a long time to get into the Hall of Fame. Special teamers don't get the respect they deserve. Oh, Billy White Shoes? That's who you're talking about. I know you're talking about that. But anyway, final 15. My quarterback list is updated. All. But the top 5. Yes. I kind of wanted to put Justin Herbert further down the list too, Mitchie Poo. But I didn't want 80 people, only 30 people to get pissed off at me. What are Jags fans going to think of where I put Trevor Lawrence? I'm going to release this list online on Twitter later today. And I'm going to tag the Chargers and Jaguar fan bases. And again, I had a busy weekend. There are a couple people I wanted to hit up. I'm going to hit some people up today. We'll see what I can get guest-wise. Lobster rolls are a simple dish, but easy to make mediocre. I find lobster in general extremely overrated for the price you have to pay, whether it's a lobster roll or an actual lobster tail. I'd rather give me a crab legs, anything like that. Crabs are way better than lobsters, in my opinion. But also a lot of work too. Vaughn's numbers this year were better than Kuechly's numbers. Year 1 defense player. Yeah, I know. We went over that late in the season, or maybe early in the playoffs. We talked about comparing those numbers multiple times on this show. Aaron Rodgers should be a lot above. Well, again, this list was made before he announced his grand return to save Pittsburgh. You're going to save as much as the Y6 are saving, okay? Aaron Rodgers, and you know what? I had the opportunity to adjust this because I didn't know Aaron Rodgers was going to be that quarterback when I made this list. But you know what I said? Screw that. Screw that Screw that idiot, Aaron Rodgers. Crumb bum. He's staying where he's at. I'll take anybody on the Cleveland Browns and try to develop them before I put my team through Aaron Rodgers. Bohm just isn't the same batter without the protection. Bohm's just not the same batter since he started getting some Aaron Dolan. Plain and simple. Lobsters, effing gross, giant cocktail roaches of the sea. I mean, I don't know if it's gross. It's severely overrated. I'll tell you that. I'm not dropping $50 for a lobster tail at a restaurant. Tate comments about Wentz and Foles' relationship makes Wentz look like he was a timid guy that couldn't lead. I saw that post through my timeline a little while ago, and I never went and looked into it. I'm not worried about what Golden Tate's got to say anymore. I mean, I'm a little pissed off at what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's out there yapping his mouth again, but that's about it. Why Cubs trending? I don't know. Why are the Cubs trending? Why are they trending? Because they're playing the Phillies and they're going to whoop our ass this week? Is that why? It's about all I got. The Saints quarterback room is better than the Phillies. That's close. Now, I'll give the Phillies a slight edge there. That fits what has been coaching coming out. He's one of those guys that can't relate unless you can relate with something he's like. Yeah. Richardson does suck. Yes. Rodgers at 17. Nope. Maybe I'll switch the Saints and the Steelers. Lots are expensive because of supply and demand. Humans are known to drive animal species into extinction. Yeah, just let them stay in the ocean then. We don't need to eat them. All seafood is basically mutant insects. It's true. Love myself a good raw oyster. Buck a shuck oyster day. Love it. But so are shrimp and almost all the shellfish we eat. Yeah, I love myself some good shrimp. Be getting some shrimp down at the docks in the Outer Banks in about 3 weeks. I love sitting on the docks eating shrimp. Steelers would have been better off trading for Kirk Cousins. They would have been better going with Mason Rudolph. Like, seriously. Better off with Mason Rudolph than Aaron Rodgers. There, I said it. Shrimp is gross, too. Man, You think the Phillies are way better than they are, and you hate shrimp. I don't know about me and your relationship long-term, Rick. I don't know if I see a long-term relationship working out between us. I'm just not sure we could be that close of friends. We have that much against each other. Love all the sea bug hate. Yeah. Like, I'm just saying lobster. I'll pretty much eat anything else. Cousins is a money issue. You know, all power, more power to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has found a way to get paid over $400 million in his career now. Good for him. I know there's a lot of backup quarterbacks that got overpaid on big contracts. But let me tell you something. Kirk Cousins made more money with less talent than anybody in NFL history. We're both huge fans of Buffett. Well, we got that going for us. That's true. That's true. Oh, we got that. Okay. So we can go celebrate some Buffett, have a beer, have a land shark. I'll have myself some shrimp. You'll have yourself a cheeseburger, and we'll be good to go, right? That'll make it all better, right? Chase Daniels made a lot of money, too. Absolutely. Absolutely. With less talent. But Kirk Cousins made $400 million. That's right. For those that don't know, that means fins up, okay? I saw Wentz's very first preseason game at the Link. It looked like he was the guy. Then I went to the 2020 season pumping all over social media. Hashtag Wentz is elite. I was wrong. I think Zach Baum played an additional game and wasn't the same threat and coverage as Luke K. Who I think the league led the league in tackles that year and also had the top number of picks for linebacker. The numbers were really, really close. The only way that I can watch the Phillies is drunk, and I don't drink. Well, then I guess you're not watching the Phillies. I guess not. Because there ain't no other way to watch the Phillies. The Phillies stink. Let's take my quarterback ranking list off. Let me go on another 5-minute rant here to close the show about how much the Phillies stink right now. They just flat out stink. And it's not a talent issue. They got a for who for what type attitude. Not one person has any fight, desire, push, energy, life in them. They've taken on the role and personality of their manager, Rob Thomson, who's enabled by Dave Dombrowski, who's enabled by John Middleton, and they're still going to win 90 games. They're still going to make the playoffs. But this team needs a fire, needs a spark lit. I don't know who's going to do it. But somebody better. Because otherwise, we're going to be in the same place in October as we've been the last 2 years. Early exits. This is the Sixers, Doc Rivers era all over again in Philadelphia with the Phillies. It's pathetic. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Or that or Zach Baum missed a game and they penalized him for it. I'm not sure. I think it was because he was an unknown. Had something to do with it as well. Sixers and Flyers this offseason going to be huge in determining where each team goes over the next 7 years. I'm more pissed off at the Phillies than the Sixers at this point. The Sixers, I know, have no clue. The Phillies don't know they have no clue. I disagree. The Phillies are much more like the Sixers. Constantly selling us a false bill of goods. Don't worry. We got it in October. Just like the Sixers tell us, don't worry. When Joel's healthy, we'll be good. Where were I on Friday? Did I not do a show on Friday? No, I didn't do a show on Friday. We were busy. We're working. Catering's important. Maury loves you. No, Maury don't love me. And you can't trust anybody like Daryl Morey. Why? Because Daryl Morey in 80-degree weather gets photoed wearing jeans and a hoodie on an 80-something degree Friday in Philadelphia. Or Thursday or whatever that was. Can't trust a guy wearing a hoodie and jeans in 80-degree weather. You just can't. This Phillies team, the way it's built, should never get swept by any teams. They should sweep bad teams, 2-1 splits on meteor and good teams. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're not wrong. Peter loves you. Rick, what beer do you recommend so I can watch the Phillies lose? Something that's super strong, Mitchy Poo. That'll get you effed up really quickly. That's all I'm going to recommend. Something with at least a 15% APR. Yeah, beer might not be enough. You might just want to go right to the vodka or Jack Daniels. This Phillies team is frustrating. It's sucking the energy. This is the summer part. This is the part of this year that should be all Phillies. Baseball or football's over. Basketball's over. Hockey's over. This is the Phillies' time. And you know what they're doing? They're making us turn to other things. Hell, I might watch the UFL championship. I don't think the world can. Yeah, there's no beer that'll fix that. Do IRL stream from Fox's Den? No. Yeah, that's probably the best option. All the Fox fans tonight will be doing more drinking than watching the game. I know Jim will. Jim will be taking a gummy or two as well. Look, I would not go to the Phillies game. You couldn't pay me to waste my hard-earned time and money to go to the Phillies game tonight. The other issue is Bond somehow had to deal with the shadow of Andrew Van Ginkel again. He may get the award this year if he does more with less. Maybe. I still think it's a who gets the most sacks interception award, really. This is just a chapter in the Phillies season. No. Well, so you want me to enjoy the ride. The problem is the ride ain't enjoyable. The shocks have worn out, and it's really bumpy, and it hurts. The journey right now is not good. My high school football coach was a star running back for the Philadelphia Stars. In the 80s, his nickname was Duck Loose. Duck Loose. That's an interesting name. All right, what's on tap this week? More bitching and moaning about the Phillies tomorrow, I am sure. More Eagles talk. Got an interesting Eagles topic to get to this week. Great article from Ed Kratz. Talked about on the Eagles check down. When will I release the top 5? Do I do a special night show or do it on one of these shows? And I got to hit up a couple people for guest spots this week. Flyers got 3 first-round picks. Better not F it up. And he's on the clock. I've said it before. This is it for Briere's era. It's a very important offseason for him. I can't say I'm too fond of the fact that he went Rick Tocchet. But we'll see. They're getting the benefit of the doubt. The Phillies aren't because it's the same thing for 3 years in a row. But let me tell you something. Cubs 10-0. Win tonight. I don't know about that. Isn't Zach Wheeler pitching tonight? Zach Wheeler, I'm pretty sure. Let me pull it up. Just double checking. Zach Wheeler's got that new daddy extra adrenaline flowing through his veins. I don't think so. Now, will they win? I don't know. The Cubs are 40-25. They got lefty Matthew Boyd on the mound. He's got a 3.01 ERA in 68 2/3 innings, giving up 8 home runs on the season, 1.19 WHIP. Solid left-handed pitcher for them. Our best pitcher. Got new daddy adrenaline flowing through those veins. Now I'll say Phillies actually win 4-3 tonight. And Rick's going to come out. See, I told you everything's fine. Because one win will wipe away all the bad losses. Including the third overall pick. I mean, I don't love the idea. But I'd be okay with the idea. I have no problem trading back. Trading 3 in Embiid or 3 in Paul George and moving back. None whatsoever. Flyers can't hide behind the R word anymore. Be better with the cap or get it. Yep. Just showing USFL some love. I thought Duck was your real name. We don't know what anybody's real names are on here. It's all right. Anyway, we're wrapping up, guys. Thank you very much, Adam. Muchas gracias for your super chat. Much appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll start hitting up some guests, bringing some other opinions on some of this stuff, we'll just say. Training the PM with some beverages for the top 5. It's a time thing. When am I going to do it? If I do a night show, then I got to skip the morning show. I can't stay up late and then get up early the next day. But maybe we will. Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much. I was going to say DuckTales. Who are you rooting for in the LA Red Sox? Oh, my God. Stop. Anyway, that was a bad last comment. Somebody else fire something else off before I end this show. Can't have that be the last comment of the show. We'll just put up this comment. Great show. Anyway, guys, everybody have a great Monday. Be a fantastic week. Lots of content coming your way. It's U.S. Open week. Let's go. That's right. I would think one of the big names getting moved for the Phillies, if not 2. Well, let's see what happens. Anyway, guys, we're out. It's an end. Anyway, guys, everybody have a great day. I'm not putting up any comments about riots or ICE or anything else. We keep this fun and entertaining, not serious. But everybody have a great day. Go Birds. Bubbles up.